I think we're both very pleased to be able to say something about a major new revision of the Cochrane Handbook that we've been working on. Okay. And we've broken down what we have to say into 6 sections. We'll alternate a bit. I'll start off and say a little bit of background. James will introduce what the handbook looks like and some of the opening chapters. I'll say something more about some of the more quantitative aspects of reviewing that have been updated in our guidance. And back to James, then back to me, and James will finish off. Cochrane has had, of course, guidance for undertaking systematic reviews since the very early days, and back in 1994 it appeared as one section here of a wider document, preparing and maintaining systematic reviews, edited by Andy Oxman. It went through several iterations. Here's version 3, version 4 in 1999. As Dario said, I joined the team back in 2003, and I worked with Phil Alderson and Sally Green on this one. And after a few minor updates, Sally and I set to work on producing a major update, and that's what became the published book many of you will have seen. It had quite a lot of new methodology and a lot of expanded guidance, and we made it available, of course, as this Wiley textbook. It's been in an open browsable format, and also PDF chapters are available to Cochrane members through the Cochrane intranet. I think it's been reasonably successful as a book. How do you tell? When you go to the amazon.co.uk reviews, actually only 8 reviews, but we've done pretty well with 5 stars. There's one bad review at 4 stars. Very thorough is the critical comment there, but it's nothing I think for us to be too worried about. But if we go over to amazon.com, it's again a small number of reviews, a 3-star review. It's just dull. I don't think we apologise for that. It is a relatively dry topic. There's another comment here. My wife didn't find this as useful as she'd hoped because it was a little too advanced for her. So I suppose might as well think about, well, what is our intended audience for the book? And I think very clearly the primary audience is that of Cochrane Review authors and editors. Of course, in the early days of Cochrane, a lot of the review authors were novices at research, and many people encouraged to do them. Times have changed, and we don't really see our audience as being novices at this point. We would expect people to have an element of research background, but we still aim it at a reasonably basic level and hope that most people can engage with the content. We've been much more careful in the new revision to try and speak to an audience as well of non-Cochrane systematic review authors. And we're also aware that we have audiences in the methodological research community and maybe postgraduate students, and to an even lesser extent, the users of Cochrane reviews. I just want to show a bit of data to back up our decision to try and make it as accessible as possible to non-Cochrane authors. If we look at what Microsoft Academic, for example, thinks is the number of citations to the handbook, it's in the region of 36,500, which is a pretty healthy number. And the citations it can tell us concretely about, there are about just over 20,000 of those. And if we look at where they come from, fewer than 4,000 of those are from Cochrane reviews, which means that really is a fairly small minority of people who are using, or at least citing, the Cochrane Handbook, over 16,000 in other journals. And here I'm showing you the journals that have included papers that cite it most often. After we finished this volume, Sally and I sat down pretty soon to start planning the next major revision. We realized as it was coming together that there were things we wanted to do even better. And we wrote to all of the Cochrane review groups and started fleshing out a plan. Had a lovely week in Melbourne at Sally's place, designing the structure of the review. And we started commissioning updated chapters from the methods groups or other authors. As many of you will have observed, progress was really rather slow, sadly. We did have a new editorial team in 2012, and we were distracted in developing the Messier standards. These are methods, methodological expectations for Cochrane intervention reviews. And we did publish an intermediate minor update, version 5.2 in 2017, where we started to integrate those. But then to kickstart, well, or to trying to complete the handbook, we created a new team, and here they are. And I was absolutely delighted that James invited an invitation to join me as a senior co-editor, and we recruited Chanjing Lee, Matt Page, and Vivian Welch as associate scientific editors, and formalised the roles of Miranda Compston, then head of training, and Jackie Chandler, then methods coordinator, and Laura Meller to do the editorial dog work. And it's been a wonderful team and has really helped us pull everything to a close.